Yeah, Yovel Noah Harari is saying that, the AI is going to create a new religion and it's going to solve so many world problems that people are going to worship the AI like a god. Now, look, hey guys, if y'all just joined the chat, thank y'all so much. Type your questions in the chat. Y'all would really appreciate it. Helps with the algorithm. But my boy Mike Durbis has a question. Does anyone know why China changed its position on Bitcoin? Ooh, Layah.
Yes.
I know Layah gonna handle this one.
I mean, it's to manipulate the market. That's what they do. They do that with
Mhm,
their own currency anyway. So completely manipulate the market because
mhm.
it does, well, it does have an impact on the market because obviously, like miners, for example, they have to turn their systems off and so on. And so, yes, we did see it affect the price. You don't think China are buying up hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin? It's to manipulate the market. It's to have better control. It's to have the upper hand. Look, these governments do not want to be left behind. They don't want to be behind other governments, and they certainly do not want to be behind of retail investors. They don't want to be behind me and you, right? Governments, they don't want that. So
Uh,
it's to manipulate the market.
Of course, great. Yeah. So we are front running the big money, and then you need to ask yourself this, y'all. China on blockchain shows that China holds a ton of Bitcoin. The United States government holds a ton of Bitcoin. Russia bad. Russia bad for the algorithm. Russia holds a ton of Bitcoin. Do you think they want this asset to go to zero? If the United States government holds billions of dollars of Bitcoin, do you think they want it to go to zero, or do they want it to keep appreciating? Now, we got another question, Layah. Justin Faust, my boy Justin, said, what type of effect would a third world war have on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? Layah, before you answer that, so if you remember a couple years ago, the Orange Man was supposed to put us in the World War. The Orange Man was supposed to create all these problems, but now it seems that we're going, inflation's through the roof. World War III's on the brink. So what type of effect would a third world war have on Bitcoin crypto? Layah, what do you think?
So really good question. So thank you, Justin, for that. So let me just answer that in stages and in sections. So it just depends on many different things. So firstly, markets don't like wars, especially, risk on assets. Money naturally will flow into the dollar. We saw that happen with Russia. We saw that happen with Ukraine. And so I definitely think it's going to be good for the dollar. I just don't think it's going to be good for cryptocurrencies. However, many different things to unpack here. We also have to consider the fact that we are in a different place in the market now compared to where we were with Russia and Ukraine. And we saw what happened with COVID. It did, of course, make the market crash. COVID dropped, Bitcoin, sorry, dropped like 50% down to 4K from, I think, 8K. But then it quickly recovered because it was in time with the Bitcoin halving and the bull market. And so I do, to some extent, think Bitcoin it's not as correlated to the stock market as people think. I don't think it is as correlated, but it is still somewhat correlated. So I think it will be affected, but only in the short term. Simply because of where we are in the market right now. We are moving closer and closer to a bull market. We saw what happened with COVID. It was affected, but obviously it recovered.